Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. I'm Chanda Mama. This is your Chanda Mama bringing you a new story today titled The Birbal and the Barber. So let's move towards the story. Emperor Akbar had many ministers and amongst them Birbal was his favorite. His jokes and his ability to get out of the difficult situations pleased the emperor immensely. The other ministers were jealous of Birbal because he was always in the company of the emperor and was highly esteemed by him. But the person who hated Birbal the most was the emperor's barber. This barber had also served under Akbar's father and grandfather, and when he cut the imperial bird, he talked of things which nobody else knew about, not even the emperor's spies. Because of this, he was another favorite of the emperor. However, the emperor liked Birbal more than him, and this made the barber very jealous. One day, when the barber was cutting the emperor's hair, he found him in extremely good mood. He took this opportunity to do Birbal an ill turn. He talked about the great fame of the emperor's victories and of the wit and the wealth of his kingdom. Your Majesty, said the barber, if your forefathers in heaven knew of your greatness on earth, how pleased they would be. Yes, but how can this be made possible? Asked the emperor. All they need is to send the messenger, replied the barber, who should also be returned to earth to tell us how pleased your forefathers are with your greatness. It is a difficult task indeed, my man, replied the emperor. To go to heaven, one must die. To return to earth, one must come back alive. Your Majesty, replied the barber, this is not a difficult job for that. Hindu Fox. Birbal. Akbar smiled secretly at the barber's malice. He knew Birbal could get out of any situation with the utmost ease, and that he would not let himself be beaten by a mere barber. Birbal was immediately sent for and told of his mission to heaven. He knew at once who the mischief maker was. Bowing low before the emperor, he said, Your Majesty, what a delight it will be for me to see your grandfather and your father, and to tell them of your greatness. As you know, Your Majesty, going to heaven is not easy and getting back is worse, continued Birbal. Being a Hindu, I have to be burnt to death in order to go to heaven and return to earth. I have to cheat Yama, our god of death. But nothing is impossible in your service, Your Majesty. That is the spirit, Birbal, said the emperor, pleased with his minister's reply. Then, will you be able to start for your mission tomorrow? No, Your Majesty, answered Birbal. I need a month in which to plan my departure and 1 lakh of your silver rupees. We can wait for a month, but why 1 lakh of silver rupees? Asked the emperor. My old mother will not agree so easily to my being burnt alive, said Birbal. But it will be quite another matter if you give her 1 lakh of rupees. It shall be done, said the emperor. May I be permitted to choose the spot where I am to be burned? Agreed again, said Akbar. The following month was a busy one for Birbal. He chose a spot that was in depth of the forest. An underground passage was dug from that place, leading to an opening 2 miles away over which a hut was built. Everyone in the kingdom came from near and far to see Birbal go to heaven. The emperor, seated on a dais, in all his pomp and glory, watched the proceedings. The mouth of underground passage was hidden by a pyre of dry wood. Birbal climbed onto the pyre and asked his servants to completely cover him with the logs of wood and set it alight only after half an hour. During that interval, under the cover of the piled up wood, Birbal removed the logs covering the underground entrance, slipped into the passage, and crept as fast as he could to the other end where the exit was. Half an hour later, the servants poured barrels of oil onto the pyre and set it alight. The flames soon consumed the whole pile of wood, and the opening of the passage was choked with the ashes. The barber and all ministers were happy to see the end of Birbal. A year rolled by. Even Birbal's mother had forgotten him. Then a man with a long beard and sparkling eyes appeared in the emperor's court. At first, Akbar could not recognize Birbal, but when he revealed his identity, the emperor was overjoyed. Kneeling before the emperor, Birbal gave an account of his trip to heaven. Your Majesty, he said, your forefathers are very proud of you. but they are all in great discomfort because they have not had a haircut for years and years. Their birds sweep the floor and get into their way when they walk. So they wanted you to send a barber to heaven. Your father in particular mentioned Mubarak, your barber. Now it was the turn of Mubarak, the barber, to make his trip to heaven, and he was buried in the graveyard of the imperial barbers with the royal honor. A year passed and many more, but Mubarak did not return to earth. So this was the story, the Birbal and the barber, published in the Chandamama magazine for you all. Till I come back with a new video and a new story, till then stay safe and take care. This is your Chandamama signing off from your channel.